Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Shim Yahshai Wahar Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of GreatMillStone, and honors your brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is going to be a quick video going into the benefits of the households that the Most High is basically going to have set up for all the Israelite men that are out here. And pretty much what you're going to see within the scriptures is that a man pretty much can have more than one woman. Now, I'm not saying to do that right now because it will be highly impractical, okay, for you to go out there and push this word and manage a household filled with multiple wives and children and so on and so forth. But pretty much what you find out is, even if you was to do it right now, you'll find you'll have a better environment for your children to be raised up in. Okay, one of the major things that people be concerned about right now, okay, when they have children and that, is the thing of childcare. Now, but check this: when you've got it to where you've got multiple people, okay, 3-parent home, okay, or 4-parent home, where you got 3 mothers and one husband that take care of the business, that's going to be a very functional environment where the kids, okay, are looked after. Okay, so I'm just gonna read some precepts and read this little article here. These are articles that you don't get these ones posted on Facebook or them social medias. Okay, because this is a society, okay, that caters to the women. But the reality of the situation is the Bible is about the man. Okay, the scripture says that what? The tabernacles of the Lord, okay, dwelleth with men. That is to say, principally the Most High is dealing with the men of Israel. Okay, so now let's show you what the scripture says concerning the future. Now, in fact, if I start with the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, I'm using a different app today since I've had some trouble with the existing app in recording. Okay, and Lord's will, this will be all right. So the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, and this is Isaiah 13 and 12, and this is important here. It says, this is important here. So it says there, I'll make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Okay, so what that means is the Most High, by way of this population reduction that he's gonna do out here, right, by way of the nuclear fire, the judgment, a lot of people, especially men, are going to be destroyed, all right, for their audacious works. The women which are wealth are going to be transferred to the new rulers, okay, and they're going to just get down with the program, all right, and that's what always happens. You have a wicked society. The Lord sends the whoever's going to come up against them to take them down, and what happens is the women that be in that particular city or whatever, they gets transferred onto the people that take over it. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen out here. You're gonna have it to where, and the scripture says that. All right. If we go down further down here, the 16th verse, it says their children shall be dashed to pieces. So you're not gonna have heirs. There's Esau as a nation, after a certain amount of time, they're not gonna have heirs. All right, but for these other nations, a lot of them are gonna be reduced in number. All right, but check what the scripture says, and remember, the scripture says this because it's balance. All right, there's a balance of the script that the Most High is inciting here, and that balance is to do with okay, how we was treated as a people. All right, you see, like the elders and the apostles always say, our people is destroyed when you see their women, okay, dealing with the other nations, and you can see, okay, there's a lot of interracial black men with white women, but that goes to show you that Jake is messed up in the head, all right, because okay, that's fine, fair enough, all right, but you see also the same thing on the other side. You don't really get too much of that with the other nations. They keep everything in-house, so to speak. That's not to say an Israelite man can't have concubines of the other nations, all right, but in the kingdom you're gonna have wives of our own nation, the Israelite woman, because she's gonna be in a right man then. And also, too, we're going to have concubines of the other nations. And hence this scripture here All right, their children shall be dashed to pieces, which that's what they did to us. People say the scriptures are cruel or whatever. This is what actually happened to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Okay, this is actual history that we're reading about here, but we're only reading the consequences of history, which is what? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So they put our children into captivity. We're going to put their children into captivity. Our children was fed to alligators. Well, we're going to do the equivalent in righteousness, okay? Because there was a lot of stuff that Esau did, all right, to us as a people that was unrighteous, all right? There's a thing out there within the history called breaking the buck, where they had Israelite men, okay, the big, husky Israelite man. Pretty much what they would do is they used to rape that individual in front of all of the other slaves. Okay, they used to have sex with that man. Okay, gay sex with that man, so that all the other slaves would be discouraged over to overthrow the slave master, because that was the power statement that Esau was making. Okay, he was saying, I'm taking your leader and I'm gonna, popping up the ass. All right, that's what they did to our people. See, we're not gonna be doing that. Okay, that only a someone with a messed up mind would think to do that. Okay, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna say, like it says here, the children shall be dashed to pieces, okay, before their eyes, and their houses shall be spoiled. And check what the scripture says, and their wives shall be ravished. So we're gonna be enjoying, okay, the women of these other different nations, man. Okay. So now let me go into the other scripture that I had. All right, the book of Isaiah, the 4th chapter, and the first verse, it says, "In that day, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." So that's to say what? That's to say pretty much, okay, a man, all right, is going to be increased in terms of wealth, all right. We saw that within the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. And as a direct result of being wealthy, all right, spiritually, okay, physically wealthy, all of that, as a result of that, okay, you're going to have a lot of increase in terms of women. Like the old saying goes, you get the power and you get the money, then you get the women. So, but Israel ain't got none of that at the minute. But see, the Most High is going to give it unto his elect. So let me just read a little bit of these excerpts from this article here. So it says, sharing is caring households with multiple, with one husband and multiple wives may benefit wives and children's health. And you know what? A woman ain't built to be working out how they work out here. All right. It was built for comfort, man. Okay. To have children and for comfort. And you know what? Here's an additional thing. Okay, women are better built for being in groups, man. So here it is, you're going about business. Your wives are supposed to be taking care of each other, man. They're better off in that group. Now, here's the beautiful thing. They're going to be working to an agenda that's going to benefit you. See, in this society, you don't have any of that. Okay, your wife, okay, or your girlfriend, really is your wife. She goes out here with her so-called friends to do what's known as a ladies' night. And that's going to what? That's going to introduce cancers into your own so-called relationship that you have with your woman. All right. But see, what's going to happen in the kingdom is they're going to have ladies' night. But guess what? Ladies' night is going to be on your premises. Okay. In a way that's beneficial to you with no other men around. So you can understand. Okay. All right. So let's read this. It says, so that will help you just off of that. You're talking about you're lonely or you're not, you don't have no friends or whatever. Well, guess what? Okay, if there was another wife here, you wouldn't be feeling like that. Okay, because you will have enough. And guess what was even more beautiful is you will have another individual pushing towards the same agenda. And you know what they say about work? Okay, many hands make light work, man. Okay, many hands make light work. Just think about it. You're talking about this society. Just imagine a 3-person household, business will be taken care of, man. Okay, but see, the Most High is going to take care of the financial side of things, the money side of things in the kingdom, the wealth side of things in the kingdom. Okay, and new study finds that polygamous marriages among Maasai people of Tanzania seen above aren't as bad as women previously believed. It's common, and that's just a thing that they push out here within the West. Okay, I grew up around people that had men that had multiple wives, You don't have problems, man. These women weren't oppressed, okay? But when you see them kids grew up strong, man, mentally and physically, okay? Because they knew how to conduct themselves, man, because they had so much influence, positive influence, okay, coming in from all directions. Okay, so it says, it's a common belief that polygamy, the term of marital relationship with one husband and multiple wives, truly only benefits the man at the center. And it does. But guess what? The Most High set it up to where it's actually beneficial for everyone. The children, the women, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, it says that label actually describes any relation, whatever, okay? Or say, and they go into the history and how it was, common in the 1944s and whatever. All right, but let's go to the point. It says a new study published Thursday, not this Thursday, obviously, but whenever it was published, in the proceeding of the National Academy of Sciences, suggests the consequences of polygamy for women might be more nuanced than we assumed. Studying demographical data for 56 villages in Tanzania where polygamy is prevalent, the author found that marriages can indeed confer some meaningful benefits for the fairer sex and their children over monogamy, but usually only if it's voluntary. So they have to throw that shit in there. But guess what? It's gonna be voluntary. All right, there's laws dealing with grabbing and taking a woman within the scriptures, but with the amount of wealth that the Most High is gonna increase the Israelite man by, bro, it's gonna be voluntary. That's why the scripture says what it says in the book of Isaiah, the 4th chapter and the 1st verse. And this is one of the points. It says if you choose and they're still talking from a woman's perspective, which is kind of chaotic. That's not how the Bible is written. Okay, it says if you choose a guy who has 180 cows and lots of land and other wives, it might be better for you to marry him than a guy with no wives and 3 cows. Okay, and 1 acre. And that's what's gonna happen to a lot of these dudes out here. All right, that got it popping on right now. And I'm talking about the heathen nations. See, they got it nice right now. They got money, wealth, and that they stole from the Israelites, or they made by having the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans in slavery. But guess what? The Most High is going to magnify the Israelite men. Okay, he's going to magnify them. And in so doing, okay, you're going to have a transfer of wealth. So you're going to have it to where one man's got 300 cows, land for days. And you know what? That's going to be a more beneficial situation for a woman to go into there and look, there's more wives there. But guess what? It's going to be better than living off of 3 cows and 1 acre of land, like the person said here. Okay? And then it says, in conducting a new analysis, right, noted that previous research on the topic has focused broadly on the differences between polygamous and monogamous families, often finding a smorgasbord of negative impacts to the wives and the children's health and wealth status. According to them, however, these efforts haven't adequately accounted for the subtle distinctions between areas where polygamy is common and where it isn't. So that is to say, in the West, it's not common, but where the West is all kind of jacked up. Okay, where it is more common, polygamy is more common, is highly beneficial for all parties that are involved. Okay, namely the villages where polygamy tend to be worse off economically. But guess what? There's coming economic transfer, man, a transfer of economic wealth, and that's going to be to the Israelite man. And guess what? Most of these women from these other nations are going to get down with the program, man. Okay, reside in rural areas with poor agricultural resources and have inhabitants who belong to especially vulnerable and marginalized ethnic groups. Okay, and what does that sound like? All right, you're talking about poor agricultural resources and so on and so forth. Well, check out what do you think is going to happen when the nuclear fire is going to come on this place, man? Okay, wealth ain't going to be spread out like how it is right now. Okay, you're going to have it to where some people are not going to have anything, and you're going to have it to where all of these nations ain't really going to have too much, but everything is going to be, the wealth is going to be concentrated to what? To the Israelite men. Okay, I mean, I could carry on with the video, but pretty much I think the point's made. All right, with that, I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of GreatMillStone. Honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.